Hey everybody, it's your host Jason. I'm on the drive home and, just catching up and whatnot. But today we're going to have a very interesting topic. Wow, I sound like some game show host. But anyway, basically I sat around all morning trying to figure out what's a good topic to talk about today. And I didn't come up with a lot of things, but I did come up with some things that really got to me, if that makes sense, about basically falling in love. The topic of falling in love, because one of my good friends falls in love very fast. Actually, their whole family falls in love very fast. And I was debating with my girlfriend last night, or talking about why people fall in love so fast. And there's a multitude of reasons. One, people can feel an incompleteness without being in love. They feel as though since they are not loved by somebody else, they're not worthy of love. They use that as a validation of self-worth. And I think that's kind of crap, because not the explanation of why, but the fact that that's how some people have to validate how they feel. It's crap in the respects that they shouldn't have to do that. Let me get that perfectly straight, because everyone has their own, way of doing things, way of living. So I'm not calling their lifestyle crap. I'm saying it's crap that they have to do that. Because it's validation. It's to prove that they pretty much are lovable. And that makes me a little sad, because everyone's lovable for different reasons. Everyone has something about them that is attractive in nature and special about them. And you can't measure your self-worth based off of being interested in other people and then reciprocating that. Because I think that's the big kicker. Like, for example, I'll use one of my friends, Q. She falls in love extremely fast, just like I say with the prompt, to the point where she always gives it her all. Like, she'll send nudes, she'll talk to you all day long, she'll tell you about how she feels, hopes, desires, and that'll be in the first month and some change, because she desperately wants love. She's lived her best life, meaning she's going out and done all the fun, crazy party stuff, and now she wants to, fall in love, but she doesn't have experience with that. So she thinks that love is just, I feel this way about somebody, if I put enough effort into it, they'll reciprocate emotions. And honestly, love don't work like that. Love is far more complicated. Love, honestly, is a system of ups and downs and a lot of work. Like, for example, y'all know I'm in love, but it ain't that simple. Like, we fuss and we fight quite a lot and quite often, but we love each other and we know we love each other. It's just, we know it's going to be hard work. It just has to be worth it. It took a long time for, at least on my end, to get in that, because my girl, she's kind of like that, to where she falls in love fast. Like, honestly, but there ain't no kind of. She is. She falls in love very fast. But she also falls out of love fast. When she realizes that this person, for lack of a better term, ain't shit, she falls out of love very fast. My friend, on the other hand, she does not fall in love until she is heartbroken. She will give a dude a million chances, or a girl sometimes, a million chances before it falls apart. I've seen it. People who've treated her like absolute garbage, she'll give chances to, because she wants a chance. She'll give 10 different people a date with her. And I don't mean unsexual, just like a date. And she'll see which one works out of those 10 different things. On the flip, one of my other good friends, really good friend, she does kind of the opposite. She doesn't like dating people, because whenever she does, she always has the same problem. Her problem is that she will devote so much of her time to that person that her life goes down in value and quality, to where she's neglecting home things and work things and school things, because she's chasing after dudes, or a dude specifically. And she'll be with a guy that she likes the qualities that he has, like good job, things like that. Good job, good looking dude, pretty good sex game. She's like, I like those qualities, except for the fact that he does not improve her life in any way, shape, or form. He actually increases her stress and doesn't treat her very well. He treats her like, not even like a B option, more like a DC option. Like, what's the last thing I need to do today? But because of the nature of their relationship over the last 4 years, he understands that's how it works. He comes and goes as he pleases, because he knows she's going to come to him I don't want to say like a puppy, but like a puppy. And I've confronted her about this plenty of times. She's like, it's not like that. But then I read off the symptoms, and she's like, well, I mean, that's true. But it's because she also seeks that validation. She wants to know she can be loved. No matter who shows that love, she just wants to be known that she is lovable. I think it's a very scary thing. A lot of men and women are searching for that, to where they will go with anything just to be, I hate to use the word validate a million times, but be validated. It's something that is in all of us, because I've done it too. I've dated somebody and I want to show how smart I was, or how, sweet I was. Things like that. Because you see that person, you want to reflect all your good qualities, not because you're trying to show off, but to show to yourself more than them that, I'm a catch. People don't realize they are already catches. They're already a hot commodity. You're one of a kind, but they don't see that. They see themselves as less desirable, and that could be from bad dating experiences, upbringing, or just a disposition against themselves. Or like, I'm just this. I've seen plenty of gorgeous women say, well, I got these love handles, nobody will like me, or I'm not very smart, people won't like me. Honestly, people like different things. Don't think that all guys or girls like the same thing, because they don't. I'll use my girlfriend as a prime example. If you were to line up all the guys she's ever dated and made an average of them, I ain't like none of them. And I'm not trying to say I'm special. It's just I've seen these people. I know some of these people. And they're not my friends and that, but I know some of these people. I know their reputation, things like that. I'm not like them at all. I couldn't be further from these people. Couldn't be further. It's impossible for me to be further. And that's just because of how we look at life. Like, I'm more mature, I'm more together, sincere, sweet, kind, understanding. I know I'm fluffing myself up here, but those are things I have. She said herself, I love those things about you, because other people I was with was more self-centered. They weren't bad people per se. Well, we disagree on that. I think they were bad people. But she says they weren't necessarily bad people. They were more concerned about themselves than anything else. Everything else came second nature to them. And I think that is a terrifying and scary notion, because no one else should be second. Like, when you're dating somebody, I'm not saying that one person be one and only, but they shouldn't be so far down the totem pole that we stop using numbers. Because she's told me right now, she knows she wasn't his top 10 priority. Like, spending time with her wasn't top 10 priority. Their relationship wasn't even in the stratosphere of things to be concerned about. And that in itself is concerning. If your partner doesn't view you as something to spend time with, work on, have effort into, you may need to reconsider this relationship. I'm being honest. And so to, tie back into the other thing about finding self-worth through your partners, we will use, somebody I consider like a little sister to me. I haven't named her on the show before, but she's definitely been on the show before, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. She recently went through a very fast relationship. Like, in, out, overdone month. And she went through an emotional roller coaster because she hasn't dated in a long, long time. His first person she's been interested in, and he did not reciprocate the set of emotions in a certain way and time frame, and it devastated her self-worth. Because even though some people don't say they get their worth from other people, you pay attention to people's actions, not their words. They feel as though unless other people find them desirable, there must be something wrong with them. Like something inherently wrong with them, whether the way they behave or how they talk or something like that. And that's just simply not true. Sometimes people just ain't into you because they're not into you. It doesn't matter how into them you are. Because I can tell you right now, there's plenty of people I've been into emotionally, physically, all that stuff, that have not been into me. I'll tell you guys this all day long. The fact that in our society, as it always has been, we want to we value the opinions of others and hold them in high regard. That's why we get haircuts, wear fancy clothes, get our hair done, nails, manicures, pedicures, wear tight clothes, work out. It's because physically, from a physical standpoint, no matter how woke you are or how, you say you don't care what other people think, it's simply not a true statement. Everyone cares what people think. The kicker is, what group of people do you care about? A lot of people care about everyone's opinion of them, and I think that's dumb. You shouldn't care about everyone's opinion. But there are people you care about. You care about your friend's opinion of you or your lover and things like that. And the reason I noted that is because one of the reasons people really want a partner, a love interest to be invested in, is because they've been hurt a lot, or they've been abandoned before by a loved one, a family member, something like that. And they want to find one person to confide in, to share their time with, to share these emotions. That's why I told you with Q earlier, she shared all the deep things that bothered her, her hopes, her dreams, because she wanted to be respected and understood. The problem what's heartbreaking is when you go 100% into these things, they can 100% backfire. Now someone she's opened up to, shown herself to, really unveiled herself in a physical, mental, emotional, and literal sense, has been like, yeah, no, I'm good, and then just moved on. I'm not saying what she did was wrong. I'm just saying that, because you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying that it's sad that she had hope in this person, and it just didn't work out. Me personally, I don't think it was his fault or her fault. I think it's something that happened. She put her all into it, expecting to find love, and it didn't work. It's like a gamble. You throw your chips on the table and see what happens. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It's sad, but that happens more often than not, and people don't understand that. I feel for her. I really do. Just earlier today, I was just chilling with her, and I just had to tell her, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. Gave her a nice hug. She said she felt like crying. I was like, I understand. Cry if you want to. I understand. We shouldn't belittle people for that. When people are having an emotional roller coaster like that, we should not belittle people. We like to look at people's lives through our perspective, through our lens, in our shoes, but you can't do that. You have to look at other people's lives through their eyes. Once people start doing that, people will have a better understanding of each other. They will get why people behave the way they do. That's how I try to live my life. That's how I try to view other things. I may not understand. I may not understand why you've chosen to do this thing, to choose this path, to walk down this alley, to make these decisions. But I understand why you felt that you had to do them, or why you felt it was the right thing. And that, to me, counts more than anything else. To me, that is the crux of what I'm trying to talk about today. And you know what? We might as well talk about openness a little bit, throw it in there, because I struggle with openness. Outside of this show, I can open up because, it's like therapeutic, all that good stuff. Or with really close friends, and even still, I don't open up to them as much as I should. But openness is a big issue because people don't realize that when you are open, you are open. You're shedding everything. You're telling them, this is how I feel, and this is my raw emotion, and do with it as you wish. You're just throwing it all out there and see what happens. I have trouble opening up about emotional openness. I'm bad with emotion, like things that have happened to me, how I feel about things. I am crud cakes at that. On the flip, one of my friends, she's the best in the world. She's a sharer. She'll tell you everything that's going on in her life, and I love her for it. It's my little sis. She's the best at that. Me? Nope. And the other kind is, I don't like talking about emotions because I feel like they make me have a sense of weakness, and that's something I need to overcome because they aren't a sign of weakness. Sharing emotions is a sign of strength because not everybody can do it. And that's why I look at it. Anything that no one else can do but you, or not no one else, but a lot of people don't like to do or struggles with that you can do, is a strength. No matter what it is, it's an absolute strength. And don't look at it any other way. And people should want to do that. They should want to be more like you if you can do that. Yeah, I sorry my energy's all over the place, but you know, I was thinking about it when I was playing out this episode, like how I was gonna intro it, what the middle is gonna be about, and the end, because I try to get a good crescendo and stuff like that of it. But when it really comes down to it, it is important what other people think of you. It really is, and it's also because it does build up your self worth. Because you, without reflection, without someone else to balance you out, you can grow and develop the wrong way. Growing, you're not supposed to be alone. And I think the drive to not be alone fuels these people to accept whatever is given to them. Like, I've seen people who will be with anybody just so they're not alone. And I think that is inherently problematic, because you shouldn't try to just be with anybody to shave off being alone, because you'll accept the wrong things. You'll accept abusive people, both physically and mentally. You'll accept people that honestly won't help your growth in any positive way. The key to love and all that stuff is growth. You're trying to grow to be a better person. You're trying to grow to enhance your life and those around you. And that's why people love. I know people who picture their future, not that old white picket fence stuff, but like their spouse, kids, family, different events, dinners, being there for all these memories. We have that dream. It's been pushed on us that is the dream. Either by TV, movie, family, that is the dream. It is in our nature at this point. It's in our upbringing. It is who we are at this point. Take that as a good thing, take that as a bad thing. I think it's a mixture of both. And we can't escape that. That is something that is in us now, and we cannot escape that. And you know what? That's fine. If it's who we are now, that's who we are now. As long as it actually helps with our progression and our growth, that's fine. Like me, I have definitely given my all to people who have not deserved it. And I've done it before. I never do it fast like some people, but I've done it before. I've given my 100% to people who I clearly knew did not give their 100% to me, because we were under the assumption that they could change, that they could do better, or that they could grow to love us. I think that's the major crux of this whole conversation, that someone can grow to love you. That if you love them and you try hard enough, they will love you back because of the sheer effort. Because we understand that a lack of effort can kill a relationship. A lack of effort can ruin friendships, family relationships, all this stuff. So we think if we push everything into it, put our all into something, that it will always work out. And the truth of the matter is, that's just not true. Sometimes you can put your entire world into something, and it just don't work out like that. You could spend all night and all day talking to somebody, letting them get to know you, all this stuff, opening up to them. They can even open up to you, and something just not click. When it comes to human people, we are complicated creatures. We mesh so weird. Some people who should not work. Some people who, on paper, should work, don't. It's because humanity's complicated. We have environment, choices, social media, income, schedules, family, ethics, morals, politics, all these factors that affect whether we'll work with somebody or not. These things are so wildly different. We have to understand when we're dating somebody or looking into somebody, you could be looking for love. They could be looking for tail. You could be looking for a family. They could be looking for a fling. They could be looking for a business partner, someone to share all their affairs with. And you could be looking with somebody just to chill, just to be friends. That's the craziest thing about dating. That's the crazy thing about looking for love, looking for that validation. It's because you may be looking for 15 different things out of this relationship with somebody, and they could be looking for one thing. And you may know, and they may not know. That's the wildest thing. While we're discovering these things, some things we do unconsciously. We don't realize we're doing these things, but we are. We're experiencing things. We're learning about ourselves. We're growing. I know some people who think they know exactly what they want out of life and love. And then a month later, they don't. I think that it is not inherently bad to put everything into a relationship, even if it's fast. I don't think it's inherently bad. It depends on what you're putting in and what are the circumstances. Each situation is different. The only thing I say is, please, 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 be cautious. Know what you're getting into. Know what you're throwing out there. And be prepared to be hurt. Like, to truly, I've said this before, to be truly in love, you have to have your walls down. You can't have barriers. No person has ever fallen truly in love with somebody without opening themselves up. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't. Because if they're gonna fall in love with you, they have to know who you are. Unless, and some people are like, well, you can fake it for years and years and years. And I'm like, if you fake it and they fall in love with you, or they fake it and you fall in love with them, you didn't really fall in love with them. You fell in love with an idea of them, a concept. Like, remember I said earlier, my friend was in that person because they had a good job and all this good stuff. They fell in love with the idea, the concept of the person, not the person. They fell in love with what they represent, what they could give, what they could do for them, not necessarily the person. And that's terrifying in its own right, because you fall in love with the concept of somebody, you never get to know them, and you judge their actions based off of that concept. If you think this is a sweet, kind person without getting to know them, they could be a horrible human being, but you still think of them as a cute, kind person. How you view people should evolve. It should change. It should go forth. It's change. That's just the gist of it. It should grow. It's the evolution of their character unfolding before your eyes. When you're picking a partner, they don't have to be perfect. They just got to be something that you are okay with. Not because of some idea you've created about them. You need to understand they're not violent, they're not mean, they don't negatively affect you, none of that stuff. That you look at them and think, this person can help me. And I know it sounds selfish, but you have to be realistic. You need a partner that can help you. Same thing with them. People ain't looking for partners that won't help them in the grand scheme of things. That's just not how that works. You're looking for somebody that can improve your life in some way, shape, or form. That's just the over-under of dating. Don't let anybody ever tell you different. And that's okay. We like to look at that as like bad. Oh, this, and you're just using them for this. Nah, man, that's just how relationships work. Boy, girl, man, woman, newlyweds, or one-night stands. We're all looking for something. We're looking for something to improve our life, temporarily or long-term. That is what we're looking for. It's beautiful, really. And it's amazing, to say the least. And when you really look at it, that's all we're striving to as people. I don't want to be long-winded and just go on these metaphors, because apparently that's what I'm known for. Metaphors and sayings. That's what I was told earlier. But this is what I will say. If I were to give one last token of advice to these people listening, I would say you don't have to know what you want. Just have a good idea of what you want and know what you don't want. Because it is better to get somebody who checks off a few of your boxes than a few of your good boxes and none of your bad boxes, than someone who checks off a ton of your good ones but a few of your really bad no's. Because in those cases, you're settling with somebody who is definitely not for you. And that's the thing, never settle. Compromise, yes, never settle. You're settling for somebody who won't treat you the way you should be treated. Like, yeah, you'll get a couple things from maybe some good sex, maybe like a roof over your head, or something like that, but not somebody who is a life partner. That's what we're looking for. Life partners that validate who we are as people. Some people call that selfish. I don't call that selfish. I call that smart. That's a smart way to go about it. That's a smart way to go about it, no matter how you slice that. That being said, I am your host, Jason. I will post more regularly. I have a new schedule now. I know it switches up a lot, but working this job and writing this book, because I got that coming out at the end of the year. I got this nonfiction book coming out at the end of the year that's going to be great. It's a lot to stretch out there. I'm helping produce some other people's shows and things like that. So mine took a little back burner. I have to toss the idea whether I'm going to recreate my nerdy podcast. I haven't shot an episode in a very long time, but it was a nerdy comic book podcast. I don't know if I want to restart it or not. I really don't know. We'll see. It's up in the air. But anyway, follow us. I realized that our YouTube channel was functional, but not really. So it was hooked up to the wrong thing. So yeah, that's fun. It was hooked to the wrong one. I have started using our Twitter account a lot more than it's been used. So please check that out. Twitter account, I will be posting funny videos of like my daily routine, only because if I post them on Instagram, I was given permission to post them on Twitter, not on Instagram. So I'll post the funny videos on there, just goofy stuff, me and my friends and loved ones and whatnot, and just interact with you people. I'm gonna get a lot of your topics from Twitter, like Twitter questions and whatnot. I'm interacting a little bit more, and I'm trying to interact more and more and more. If you follow us on Twitter, it's at emotions and SHHH. And obviously, we're Emotions and Podcast, or Emotions and Shit Podcast on all forms of audio devices. Audio platforms. We've got Spotify, CastBox. Apparently, there's a new one that we have to be distributed to pretty soon. I'm going to hook it up to that too, because apparently it's a new one. But yeah, those three, let me repeat them. Apple, CastBox, Google Play, Spotify, things like that. We're on all those things, which is great, all that good stuff. And let us know what you think, send some questions in, all that good stuff. And if I ain't got nothing else to say, laters. Bye.